Are you ready? Yeah! Cool! Are you ready? Awesome!
Whoa! Ouch! G'day, Aussie gamers. This is the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast. The podcast that brings you news, reviews, and video game-themed fun. Get yourselves set. It's time to hand you over to your hosts, Lucas and Aaron, to display a complete disregard for political correctness.
Hello everyone, I am Lucas, or also known as LewkOne, and this is episode 114. Today is Monday, the 15th of February 2016. And also with me is my fantastic friend Aaron, who's also known as Red. Welcome back to this week's show, my friend.
Thanks, Cobber, I appreciate that.
Not a worry. Sorry?
Feeling a little lost now we're back to our normal script.
Well, it is a normal show this week, but knowing the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast, how normal can it really be?
That's right.
Yeah, definitely not normal hosts, that's for sure. But anyway, before we start, here's this week's show in preview. First up, we'll have video game discussion. Then in video game news, we'll have Sonic the Hedgehog movies, Doom and the Distance, Fallout 4 DLC, Quantum Break's Exclusivity. There's a sneaky little trick to that title there. Offerings from Ubisoft and Destiny into the future. After video game news, we'll go into What's That Sound, and then we'll head off to the pub and Red, it's your shout. Then we'll close the show for another week. So first up in video game discussion, Red, go ahead.
Rightio, so my obsessive compulsive nature has come out again this week with my gaming habits. Rainbow Six Siege.
I'm sensing a pattern over the long time that we've been doing the show for now. You love to stick to a game.
I do, man, and it's a good thing though. I see value in.
You definitely get your money out of your games.
Most of them, yeah, especially the ones I really, really like, you know, and you like myself, we can't just go and spend $110 every 5-6 days. Now there's a new release coming out via the PlayStation Store or physically down at the shop, you know, we just can't do it. And it's quite humbling and nice to come across a game or a special, yeah, and have it take you for so long. Because we said if you can get $1 per hour, you're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Well, I'm now about 50 cents an hour. But I've got all the hard trophies in it now. I've just got the grindy ones to go. I've got two trophies to go for a platinum there, so that might happen. 2,000
kills in...
2,500, yep.
Is that one of them? 2.5 kills or whatever in Terrorist Hunt?
Yep.
And what else you got?
100 defend the hostage terrorist hunts.
Right, okay. Are you nearing that one?
Via the stats, and here's a catch, because the website, the rainbow6.ubisoft.com, you can punch in your Uplay details, or Club Ubisoft now it's called, sorry. And you get your details and your stats there. But as far as the PvE stats go, it includes all your situations.
Right.
So to say that I'm close to the kills in that column, I've got 1,800 kills.
Right. Okay. See, the PlayStation 4 need to do what the Xbox One does, because the Xbox One, for every achievement, has a progress bar. So if you go into the achievement section and you look at any achievement, there's a little green bar that goes across the text that tells you what the achievement is, and that little green bar is your progress towards that achievement popping. So you always know whether you're making progress. So sometimes... and I've done this in the past, where you might be doing something trying to get a trophy, like something that needs to accumulate, and you don't realise whether or not you're doing it right. So like, just an example, you and Nick were talking about it last night, where you were doing the flash kills, where you have to kill flashed enemies and Nick was a little bit unsure if it included flashed enemies using what's the Blitz, the guy with the shield flash.
Yep.
You corrected him and said, no, it's definitely just the grenades. But if you didn't know and you had a progress bar, you could go and try a couple of flashes with the shield, and if the progress bar didn't move, okay, it doesn't include those ones. Then go and do a couple with the grenades, and then it'll move. And you go, okay, so that's how you do it. That little progress bar means so much to the person who's trying to get the achievement or the trophy. It's just a real, I guess it's a simple thing to implement. I don't know. It's tricky.
And you also have the correct me if I'm wrong, the picture-in-picture. You can bring it up and just have it on the side of your screen or whatnot.
Yeah, that's right. Xbox Snap achievements.
That's it, Snap. Yeah.
And then you'll have the achievements on a little pane, which is no different to when you're streaming on the PlayStation 4 with the little thing on the right-hand side.
The comments, yeah,
exactly the same. And that way, and like, I mean, I do have a limited understanding of how the coding works, but the game, the PlayStation game, is already tallying up the amount that you're doing, because it needs to do that so it knows when you've done enough to then give you the trophy. So surely a visual representation of what it's already doing behind the scenes can't be too much of an ask. Yeah, whether it's a counter where it says, 16 out of 200 and you can keep going, or if it's just a bar that goes across somewhere when the...
Yeah, percentage bar, yeah.
Yeah, just when you're looking at the trophy, where it says percentage of people that have unlocked this trophy. And then on the other side just say percentage of completion for this trophy. And then obviously once that hits 100, you get the bring.
Yeah, so I've had a drought between bloody platinums, in all honesty.
I've had 2 this year.
2? I thought you had 3. That's giving you more credit than you deserve, you bastard.
I think it's only 2. I've done... what have I done? Last of Us remastered I got were they this year? Yeah, they were, yeah. And
there was a Telltale one, wasn't there?
Yeah, I can't remember if that was this year though. Maybe that was last year. And also the Dying Light one popped for me as well.
Correct, yeah.
But I think the Tales from the Borderlands, I think that was last year. Yeah, because I had the 2 in the 1 week, and I was saying how, I promised myself that I'd get 3 platinums for the year, and I've already done 2, and the last one will get me to my 20th platinum. But it looks like I've got a couple more on the go, because I'm not far from a platinum in Fallout 4.
Yep.
And I'll eventually, whenever I get around to it, I've been pretty busy with other games. The Grim Fandango Platinum as well, which is an easy one.
There you go.
And the game's not that bad, man.
Yeah, I know, but it's just too old for me. I don't know, what, snobby? No, I don't know, just a prick.
No, it stands the test of time. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just one of those typical point and click games. I don't really like them too much anymore. I liked them a lot as a kid. Probably because I had a bit more patience back then with video games, but so I've got a few more platinums in the works. I don't know what I'll hit by the end of the year, but I did give myself the task of 3, and I've done 2, so that's...
what was 3 going to give you, 20?
3 gives me 20, yeah.
25.
Well, that's a fucking big ask.
Come on.
Unless I just go and put 40 hours into a whole bunch more Lego games.
Well, tell you what, I was just about to make the joke. With your generosity, I've got bloody Avengers sitting here to play. I've just bought Lego Dinosaurs, Lego Jurassic Park World for the kids.
Yep.
I've got Hobbit movie and Batman 3 on the way that I picked up for the kids.
See, they are easy platinums, which you can do, but they still demand a fair bit of time and a fair bit of grinding. Like in some of those games, there's a thing, there's a trophy where you got to get 1 billion studs.
Mhm.
I mean, that's not too hard to do once you unlock the red brick that like you get up to like 16 or 32 times the amount of studs that you pick up. But in order to unlock them, you need to collect the amount, like a certain amount of studs, because the studs in the Lego games are like your currency, your in-game currency. So you need to pay for those red bricks, and the red bricks are your modifiers, which change things up in the game, where they give you unlimited health or, you know, unlimited bits and pieces and stuff. So it's still a bit of a slog. Takes a while.
I had my cousin over for the last couple of nights, and he's been playing. He installed Avengers, and he was having a go. It looks pretty sweet.
Yes, it does. It does look quite good. I'll be talking about that in my VGD. But anyway, you continue.
Rocket League got its latest update this week.
Oh yeah.
And we moved into Season 1 concluded, and they gave us a little car topper for our efforts and where we ranked in the first season. Yep. But they now have a totally different ranking system. Like you probably recall when we played ranked games on Rocket League, you either got points or you had points subtracted off a total.
Yeah. Now
it's just kind of like Rainbow Six Siege. You play so many games and then you get a rank, like a title, like like gold 1, gold 2, gold 3 sort of things. Through bronze through gold, but on this year you go prospect, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, I believe. So I'm a prospect.
I'll have to get started into that.
Yeah, it's all new and fresh, and there's some new additions. The Wasteland map is now in rotation on ranked play. A few differences in there amongst it, so that's pretty cool. Talking of picking up a good bargain and getting money's worth out of a game, buddy, Rory McIlroy.
Yep.
We've been able to hit that up for 4 players a couple of times now. So it online works. There's probably a few milliseconds of lag, but that's only when you're watching someone else. Yours is like when I'm playing my own shots and everything like that, it's all perfect. Sometimes the scoreboard doesn't work on the other player's screen, or just say everyone's even or something like that, but other than that, there's nothing to complain about. My game plays without lag. It's only a lag on the video. Scoreboard not working.
So how does that work when you're playing with multiplayer? Do you have your shot and then you watch everybody else go, or?
That's the thing. That's an option. You can take in turns, or you can do it simultaneously. It gives you that option. So we could all play, and then we're all allocated a colour, and then you just see this stream go forward of where everyone's shots have gone. Yep. But when we play, we just take in turns, so we can just laugh at each other's muppets.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, happy to report, got my hole-in-one trophy yesterday.
Yay!
Crushing out the trophies off there in that as well, in all honesty. But bloody, it's got like a challenge mode, so a grind mode. What is it with these games? There's so much grinding involved, but
well, that's what a lot of games are doing these days. They're putting in like a lot of really hard to get, not necessarily hard to get, but they're doing the achievements and trophies are going towards grind, so they can get longevity out of people playing the game.
That's right.
Whatever happened to, and there's very rarely now. I remember in what was it? Far Cry 3, they had really good trophies. There was a trophy on there where you had to slide down a zip line, jump off the zip line, and do a death from above, which was really hard to do. So you could get it in like half a second and be over and done with it, but it took me that many tries to do it. Whatever happened to trophies and achievements that were technically difficult to do rather than just playing over and over and over? I think the games these days need to put a little bit more emphasis on those technically difficult things to do.
Absolutely.
And put in a few bastards that are going to take a while to do. Not the ones that you got to run around for 6 hours to find a random event and do that.
See, Uncharted do that well. to do their trophy system well, because throughout the 3 games, it's all consistent. Get 25 kills with this weapon, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
But then they've got the ones where, for 10 enemies in a row, deplete their life enough so you can finish them with one punch, you know.
Yeah, so that's technically difficult, where you can do it immediately if you're awesome, but, you know, generally, like myself, it's going to take me a few goes, but it'll get you better at the game too.
Yeah, and it's achievable, and you know, because that makes you then research how many bullets in which area an enemy will take at what difficulty to drop them.
But just, you know, they need to take away some of those just long slog trophies, because generally people aren't really enjoying their gameplay. Like when they do one where, like your one for instance sake, where you got to kill 200 terrorists in Rainbow Six Siege while they're flashed, like that's just the same thing over and over, and you got to wait for the opportunity, and it's hard because you got to do too many of them. Like anyone can kill somebody while they're flashed.
Yeah.
It's not a hard thing to do. You'll do it accidentally a few times, right? But why not have a trophy where it's kill someone while they're flashed by meleeing them with a fucking something. I don't know, like make it so there's a few...
That's flair.
Yeah, there's a few different criteria that you need to meet, but you don't have to do it 1,000 times, you know? You just need to be able to pull off a sick kill or something like that in the game. You need to do that, I think.
Yes, I do agree. And you can... and when it comes to PGA, EA got fucked by Tiger, as well as all those other women, I believe.
Why?
Because when they lost Tiger Woods, they lost Nike, and they lost like Reebok. They lost all these sponsors. Mm-hmm. So the game's very hollow. You know, I'm happy to report we got an update. So all the games I've played this week, we've got an update on. It's funny. We got an update the other day. Come with a couple of courses. So there's a couple of new courses, but they're nothing courses. They're just made up.
Yeah.
I'm playing season mode at the moment, and I'm playing things like BioWare Classic. You know,
what?
That's the name of the tournament, the BioWare Classic.
Oh, okay. Anything to do with BioWare?
The Dice... No. The Dice Invitational.
Okay. Is that like a licensing thing, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's jumped ship off it. You know, you got no sponsored gear anymore. You used to be able to kick your creative player out with different, like Oakleys and Nikes and all this sort of gear that would change your attributes. All the golf ball manufacturers are not on board. It's all EA branded. The golf clubs, there's no official licensed golf club range in there anymore. It's all EA branded. And yeah, it's very hollow. There's fuck all to do other than bare bones play golf, really.
Okay.
So I'm just thankful that there's multiplayer. Look, I reached... in my career, you can go through and you can play every single hole if you want, or you can play the important holes, which will just give you, for the first, because every tournament has 4 rounds, so 4 rounds of 18. So the first 3 rounds, it'll give you 4 holes randomly throughout the event, and then based on where your standings are on the 4th round, it can give you anywhere from 4 to about 9 holes to play, depends how close to the top you are.
Yeah.
And I've just been doing that. I haven't even been playing 18 holes, and I've got the gold trophy for world #1, win this tournament, win that tournament, win every tournament. Just breeze through it. It's fucking easy. So, I'm glad that I've got the likes of Roy and Beaver and Nick to play with. It's in all honesty, it was $19. That's fine. I've got my money's worth. I said I got my money's worth with the first multiplayer experience I had with the game, and now it's just a gift that keeps giving, when I can just swap over from a game and play that for 20 minutes, half hour, like I did with Roy last night, smash a hole in one, have a good laugh, tell him to fuck off because he gets 2 hole-in-ones in a row. But other than that, she's a very hollow game, very hollow title. You don't even have course editor anymore.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of pissy.
Not a golfer, so it's...
Yeah.
It won't really come across my vision.
No, last but not least, I play a little bit of Don Bradman cricket.
Oh,
They promised an update about 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Big Ant, or Red Ant, sorry. And they come through about 3 days ago. You can now play co-op. You were never able to play 2-player on the same team, like each controlling a different either batsman or.
Oh yeah.
You can now, and you can do it online also, not only local.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So Roy's been hitting me up. I'm real keen to try it out, but the last couple of nights I just haven't either been well enough or in the mood to sit down and play 2 hours of cricket while relying on someone else's skill. And that's no knock on Roy, that's just a knock on myself not having the patience. So I'm looking forward to really digging in and having a go at the co-op, because you can set up tournaments where we could just jump in, play a game for a couple of hours and then revisit it, sort of thing, or just save and we come back to it. So that's pretty cool. It's because usually when you play multiplayer on Don Bradman, it's just a five overs each, like 5 overs of batting and 5 overs of bowling.
Yeah.
And there's no skill involved there, really. You know, it's go for broke. You're not going to lose 10 wickets. You're not going to take 10 wickets. There's no planning. There's no strategy to it. It's just go out, try and bowl as fast as you can, or try and hit it as far as you fucking can. So
if I could pick that game up for cheap enough, I wouldn't mind getting that, actually. But the only thing that would really turn me off now, and probably wouldn't get it, is I just know that you're probably the only person that I'd play it with, and you would fucking annihilate me.
Yeah, well now it's co-op. You can play on the same team. We can win together.
Yeah, but I just, back in the FIFA days that we used to smash out FIFA 14, man, that was good rivalry. It was very even.
Fair, yeah.
It was, yeah. So
Even
we're gonna
though
have to...
I won one every 4.
Excuse me. Yeah, we're going to have to get our hands on a cheap copy of 15 or 16 soon. And
well, 16 probably should be about $40 soon. You'd think with 17 on the horizon.
Nah, it's EA and it's FIFA. They're always $100. It's bullshit.
Good.
Every time they put them on special, they're like still $50 or $60. You're like, fuck off, man. Everything like $19 for golf. Come on, give us a decent deal on FIFA, and I might buy it.
I would have paid 35 for 16.
Yeah. Anyway, see what happens.
49. So that's my week. Thanks for putting up with me.
No worries. All right. Look, first of all, I want to talk about Lego Marvel's Avengers. Have you played it yet?
No.
Fuck, you are sacked. We're supposed to discuss this on the show, Red.
I've watched a lot of it. I've played a little. Like, I got some hands-on, but I haven't sat there and played it for hours on end.
Right. Well, anyway,
I tell you
Lego...
what, my kids have finished it twice.
Have they really?
Yeah, they're nuts, though.
Yeah. Well, Lego Marvel's Avengers. Now, this one's a pretty significant Lego release for me, and not for the reasons that I would probably like to and sort of spruik about. But anyway, here it goes. Lego Marvel's Avengers is not very good. And not because it doesn't have the Lego feel that it always has. It does. It is your Lego games, right? But there's a couple of things that sort of confused me a little bit, and that's the level design. The level design hasn't been the quality of previous Lego games. So, like, I mean, I've platinumed a few of them now, and I've got a real good understanding of what makes them tick, and it just didn't feel right. I wasn't enjoying myself. Found the Lego games in the past that I enjoyed, the levels were somewhat linear and would often branch off going up a building or across the ground.
Yeah.
A lot of the levels in Lego Marvel's Avengers are like arenas. So they're like just one big room. So all you're doing is going from one point in the room to another point, building things, smashing things, building things, working out what to do next. And it just felt a bit shit. Like, I wanted where you would do this little part so you could move on to the next part of the level, but it didn't have that. It just had the one. It had a couple of those levels, but not very many. The majority of them were just like a big arena style thing, as I was saying. And there was a lot of times where I just got stuck and didn't know what to do. Like, I thought, okay, I've got to build something over there, or I've got to cut that thing down there. But how do I do it? Like, this is a Lego game. This is supposed to be for kids. Like, this is really hard and challenging. I don't really know what to do here. And just to the point where I played for like an hour on one level running around. And the frustrating part is that enemies, a lot of the time, just keep spawning. So you can't clear the area. So you forever trying to just kill the enemies so you can have a look. You know what I mean? Like, there was no downtime where you can just go, right, I'm just going to have a look over here or over here. Oh, fuck, I've got to quickly fight these blokes because they're annoying me and all that sort of stuff. So it was just frustrating, and I just couldn't play the game the way I wanted to. And there was no sense of, I just worked that out, that's pretty cool. A lot of the difficulty was brought on by very poor camera angles. Like, there would be a certain thing behind something that I just couldn't see because of the angle and things like that. Or it would just be so bizarre what you needed to do, the solution, that you think, I only found that because I accidentally did that. I would never have thought to do what I just did, you know? That was just sort of just part and parcel of me fucking around for the last 90 minutes messing around with this level. So unfortunately, I was left frustrated at the end of levels rather than just, you know, happy that I've smashed a whole bunch of stuff and built Lego and stuff like that. So that's the biggest letdown. And when I was writing the review, which is up on aussiegamerstv.com, I stopped and I thought, it doesn't feel like the same team made this Lego game. So I did a little bit of research, and there's a good reason for that.
Wasn't?
It wasn't. It was. It wasn't. It wasn't.
When you're playing it,
there's two teams. I don't recall what the teams are. I think they're in the review. I made a comment about it. But there were two teams working on this game rather than just the one. So there were levels, like I said, that were quite interesting and great to play and felt like the original ones. Specifically the last two levels were brilliant. The game ended well. But there's a lot of those levels that I've just described throughout the middle and the start of the game that just didn't feel right. And I think that might be the different influences from the different team. It just didn't have the charm and the...
It wasn't cast of the same mould.
That's right. And I mean, like, games like the Lego Jurassic World, that was flawless for me. I loved that. I thought that was built with perfection. But yeah, just the Lego Marvel's Avengers just felt a little weird. And there were levels that were like reused. A lot of it was reused from the Lego Marvel superhero game from a couple of years ago.
It was.
Yeah, and it looked like identical. It didn't look like they used the same area from a different point of view for different things. It looked like I was doing the same thing, which was a bit dodgy if you ask me. And they're asking $99 on the store and stuff when it was first released. But look, I mean, I'd probably give it, whereas I'd probably give most Lego games for what they are around a 9, this one's probably only getting, if I had to score, I don't normally score, but if I had to score, it's probably a 6. So, yeah.
Can I give you my 3 positive points on it?
Go ahead.
I'm talking about not being cast from the same mold. I think the battle, the action, or the fighting, if you will, has been stepped up.
Yeah,
especially with the likes of Captain America and everything like that.
Yeah, the general combat.
Yeah, he seems a lot more flippy. You're getting a lot more. He seems a lot weightless, and you're getting combo attacks with a charge bar. That's new, where you charge up your special.
Yeah, they've added the combos. Yeah, where you can use another character to do finishes and stuff. Yeah, that's true. That's cool.
The second one was just basically the sounds from the movie. There's a whole lot more dialogue than Marvel superheroes.
Yes. Yeah,
so,
'cause they
obviously
had a
with the
movie,
movies out, there's a lot more direction narratively. Mm-hmm. And they tied both movies in well together, with a little going back and forth and a little bit of offshoots here and there. Mm-hmm. And the third one was being able to just go absolutely psycho with the Hulk and traipse around the open world.
Yeah, the Hulk is fun to play as.
Yeah, absolutely, climbing buildings and everything, and just the way they do it graphically, it looks like he's smashing up the side of the wall, but that just disappears sort of thing, so it's as to not be too strenuous with graphically and everything like that. But they were my 3 positives. I haven't finished it, I haven't played a lot of it yet, but I did want to play a little bit, of course, so I could chip in here, obviously. But they were my 3 positives.
I think a big thing that would have made this game and future LEGO games a massive hit would be to use less QuickTime events, because they're not even really QuickTime events. There's a lot of fighting in there, and especially I refer to in my review, there was a Hulk versus Hulkbuster fight from the movie.
Yep.
Where it just required you to mash 2 different buttons, so it'll be like mash the shit out of X for ages, then circle for ages, and then the game will take over, and you start to think, well, what would have happened if I didn't mash it? It didn't feel like I did anything really. But I think if they brought in fights like that where you've got massive larger than life characters but an actual fight, that would have been cool. That would have, because I was genuinely excited when that scene started, but then it quickly sort of came the realization that I wasn't really going to get a chance to do anything. So,
except watch, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the disappointing thing there. But there's definite work that can be done, and it's still a LEGO game. It's not too far stretched. It is a good game. It's just not as good as what they usually are, which is a shame, because Marvel Avengers is pretty cool.
What did you think, just before you close off, what did you think about the open world of Avengers as opposed to Marvel superheroes?
It's the same.
It's much the same, but I thought it was more complex. I thought it was more dense.
Oh, I didn't really get that from it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
cruise around.
Yeah, kids are going to love it, mind you. My daughter's getting a little bit older now, so she's finding these games a little bit more accessible. So we did play a little bit of co-op on that. They still don't have online co-op, which is disappointing. I've never seen it, but Jason tells me that a long time ago, like the Star Wars games and stuff had online co-op. I don't know, I never saw it, so I'm only taking his word for it. I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is, I want him to bring it back, because how cool, like the Lego game, I would double my score if I could play this online with friends.
Yeah.
Alright, move on. I played Dying Light the Following, the Enhanced Edition, this week, and I've put a lot of time into it. I've still got about 10% of the story to go, but the way the story goes is you might do a couple of missions and it'll say, I'll give you a bit of a rundown of what the story is. So you're Kyle Crane still from the original Dying Light story, and you've been informed of this new area where there are survivors, and you get there and they're all talking about this mother, what is it, the chant? It's like, mother is great, mother is life, mother will save us. They were chanting this, and there's a group of men called the Faceless, which I think is I don't know if that's a genuine rip-off from Game of Thrones, but they're called the Faceless. And they've got this cure where people that were bitten, 6 months ago aren't turning, and there's a few scenes where the zombies aren't attacking people, right? And while this guy is doing this chant, so mother is great, mother is life, mother will save us, and he's not getting attacked, and there's zombies everywhere. And your obviously your job is to earn their trust and all that sort of stuff, and find out what's going on and see if you can get this cure. And So that's how it goes. So you'll do missions trying to earn the trust of Mother and the following, and sometimes and basically the way to do that is to do jobs for the people in the town. And sometimes you'll do like a main story mission, and then the main story mission will turn into help out the people, which is basically the game's way of saying, we're not letting you progress any further now, so just go do and have fun. Go and do other things. And along the way, you'll eventually, increase your level and trust and things like that, which will unlock the rest of the story. I think it makes what could be a fairly short story a little bit longer by using that method.
Normally you don't like that.
Normally I don't like that, no. But I don't want to let Dying Light off the hook here, because that is a little bit of a jerk thing to do, because I like to just power through stories. That's how I do it. But the way Dying Light is written is that side missions aren't side missions. They're optional missions that you can do, but they all have stuff to do with the overarching story. So you might go and help out old fucking Joe Blow in the corner here because he has lost his missus in the wilderness or some shit, which in a lot of games you'll go and find her, bring her back, and he'll give you some money and some XP and all that sort of stuff, and that's where that ends. He's got nothing
Another
to
settlement
do with it.
needs liberating.
Yeah, that sort of shit. But that's not how Dying Light works. During the process of finding, I'm making this up, but there's no mission.
Ghazi.
Yeah. During the process of finding the missus or whatever, there'll be a reason why she's gone missing, which has something to do with the main story. And when you find her, she'll tell you things about the main story that make you go, oh! Now, to be clear, I'm completely and 100% making this up. I'm not referring to an actual side mission where you go and find a missus, some bloke's missus or anything like that. I'm just making that up. But that's what the side missions are like in Dying Light. So they're kind of like main story missions.
Yeah, you get a 360-degree view of the narrative.
Yeah, so you can just choose which one you do, whatever. So I do forgive it somewhat for that, and I'm really enjoying the following. It is absolutely brilliant. I've got to talk about the buggies. The buggies are sick. I've almost unlocked everything for the buggy, man. I've just been driving around. Sometimes I just stop for an hour and just cruise and just run down zombies, smashing them with my mad upgraded grill with knives all over it and shit. I've now unlocked a flamethrower on the front of my car. I've got a electricity pulse now, so if I'm surrounded by zombies in my car, just press L1, it just goes and they all just go flying. It is awesome. There's massive, larger-than-life enemies in the game, and they're not just bosses. You'll find them, and they're fun to take down because they're hard, and they will take a long time. Now, I must mention as well, I've brought my 70-plus hour character from the original game across into the following, but I've bumped my 70-plus hour character, which is all leveled out, up to hard mode. So
okay.
I didn't take it to the next level. I can't remember what it's called.
Legendary.
Is it called Legendary difficulty?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's what... Or Elite. No, Legendary.
It's not Elite, but whatever it is, I haven't gone to the bullshit hard one. I've just gone to hard. And fuck, it is hard, man. Like, the normal shit-kicking zombies, they'll mess you up. They'll mess you up real good if you're not in a leveled up car. So I'm fairly protected now in my car. But, yeah, early on, if you're in your car, they'll destroy you because they can just reach in and hit you still. And you get overwhelmed and stuff. But my car's engine, turbo's all, leveled up. I've got protective plates and stuff and doors on it. So I'm smashing it. I'm loving it. The story as well is Dying Light quality. It feels like an extension to the game. It doesn't feel like a side tacked on story where Cole Crane's gone off and done his own thing. It feels like
natural progression.
Like the story just didn't end. It kept going with Cole Crane and his efforts to save Haran or whatever. But it is. I can't think of a DLC that I've paid for that has given such quality. And there are so many things to do. There are races in the buggies. There are collectibles. There's side missions. There's more leveling up to do. Mind you, the legendary levels, that doesn't get handed out. I'm only legendary 4. So
wow.
I've been playing it quite a fair bit. But that takes its time. But all that does is really increase the abilities that you already have.
Yeah.
So the legendary stuff's not going to give you extra abilities, but you can get your extra different abilities for your car, for your driver level and stuff like that. So, man, mint, absolutely 10 out of 10 for an expansion or a DLC, whichever flavour you want to call it. But it is it's amazing.
It goes against the definition of DLC, or what we now commonly know as DLC.
Yeah, I would call it an extension because it does continue on for the story. I'll call it an epilogue, if you will. So I don't know what happens in the end yet because I haven't completed it, but I'm really keen, and it seems to be written just as well as the original story for Dying Light, and it's great. New characters come into the fold. You learn to like, hate, all of the above of new characters, and there's shit tons of new weapons, new things to craft, new new throwables. It's plenty.
What about zombie density?
Massive. Good question, dude. Good question. I've noticed that the zombie density is probably tripled. See,
no frame rate issues?
Well, there is a little when you're in your car, because when you're in your car,
you're fanging.
See, early on in the car, there were no frame rate issues, but now because my car probably travels at twice the speed as it did when I first got it, you're covering a lot more ground, and if there's a shitload of zombies, it's loading them twice as fast. So it does, yes, it does. When you're in an open field, because there are a lot of open fields that are just packed with zombies, it does chug a little. Yes, it does. And I'm playing it on the PS4. But it's kind of like a real smooth frame rate issue. Kind of like a slow-mo, if you will. It doesn't... it doesn't... it doesn't really skip frames. It more so just slows them down. I don't know if that's a feature they've put in to overcome it, but you don't, like when you lose frames, sometimes it's hard to control and you lose where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't really get that problem. It just slows down and chugs a bit, but I still feel like I'm in control and haven't lost where I'm at. It's a bizarre feeling. You'll get it once you have a go. You'll know what I mean. But yeah, when you're not going too fast, it doesn't have that issue. But now I'm just ploughing through them.
Because the reason I asked, it's very common with because the zombie genre really blew up a couple of years ago, and everyone was making zombie games. And then every time someone tried to up the density of zombies compared to the title that was laid out before it, that's when the frame rate issues started happening. Yeah. So it's good to hear that this is fucking pretty schmick.
Yeah, look, it doesn't break it by any measure. But yeah, because with the new map, it's massive. But that's why you've got your car, because you can travel fast between places. Because in Dying Light, there's no fast travel. The only fast travel that exists is between maps, right?
Yep.
But yeah, and the following map is huge, and yeah, it takes a long time to get from A to B. But yeah, the car makes it a little bit more accessible and a lot more fun.
But you need petrol.
You do need petrol, so it adds a little bit of a survival technique there. So you can
be technically stranded.
You can be, yeah, and then you're just legging it. So if you're driving around and you're wondering what that weird beeping sound is, that's your low fuel light. Yeah. There was a couple of times where I was driving around and I'm like, what is that beeping noise? Damn it! Because I didn't actually notice the fuel gauge. The fuel gauge goes red, but when it goes red, but when it depletes, obviously there's only a thin line of red left, so I didn't notice it. So yeah, it beeps, and then the car starts to chug, and it drives like shit, like a car would if it was running out of fuel. So you got to jump out. So heaven forbid you run out of fuel in the middle of a bunch of zombies, because you got to jump out of the car, go to the back, and fill it up at the little fuel filler. And you've got to actually have fuel on hand, which you've got to loot from dead cars on the side of the road or fuel bowsers at petrol stations. Now, obviously, you're going to get more fuel around a petrol station, so that's how it works, but you can get it sporadically throughout the map just from abandoned cars. But, the addition of the buggies is a brilliant thing. It just adds so much to the game. It's so much fun. It's great. They handle well too. They've done some really good mechanics for the car.
Yeah, not a heavy piece of bloody cube thing.
Yeah, it's not. If you're used to the driving in the Dying Light games, thousands of times better. They've fixed it. It's great.
In the Dying Light games?
Dead Island games. You heard wrong. And
I wasn't wrong. You were mistaken.
That's right. Do you have any more questions before I move on from Dying Light?
No. I'll report back and we'll play some this week together as well.
Just a quick mention for people that don't have it, and if you already have the game, if you are wondering whether or not it's worth buying the season pass versus just the just the following. The other things in the season pass, the shit, don't even bother. I wouldn't even. Yeah,
what is it? Quite a couple of quarantine zones.
Oh, a quarantine zone and a
horde mode.
No, there's no horde mode.
Bozak's challenge.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yes, there's Bozak's challenge. Without Bozak's challenge, the rest of it's shit. Sorry, Bozak's challenge is good, but it's pretty hard. So if you're on your own, maybe don't bother. Just get the following. But yeah, Bozak's challenge is good though. All right, well, I'll move on. I better power through this. I've got a fair bit to go. We're running late. Deadpool. I watched Deadpool yesterday. I went and saw that for a Valentine's Day date. Man, that movie is fantastic. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, and I'm sure everybody knows it's great, so I won't spend too much time on it, but one of the best superhero movies that I've ever seen. It's funny from the second the screen turns on. You know, when you're at the movies and you just you know when the movie's starting, you know, the lights dim and stuff, and gives you the heads up. From that moment you laugh until the end of the credits, when it does the typical Marvel like post-credit little bit. What do you call that?
Yeah.
There's that little bit that you wait around after the credits, and then that plays a little bit all the way to there. It's funny. Even in the credits are great. There was like a section in there. Oh, I can't remember what it was. The credits were rolling, and there was a specific thing where it said instead of saying like the role of the person, it said like best kisser or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah. It's like an awards.
Yeah, and there's a little animated thing in the credits while they're rolling where Deadpool, like a little cartoon, like a dodgy drawn cartoon of Deadpool giving a unicorn, like rubbing his horn, like jerking it off and stuff, and then a rainbow flies out the end and shit. There's all fucked up shit like that, but it's brilliant. You'll laugh. You don't like comedies, but this one will put you.
Oh, it's a Marvel movie, bro. That's a different thing altogether.
You'll shit yourself, like I said, from the credits to credits laughs. That's what it is, and it's M15 in Australia. I think we talked about it being R in past show. R's the American rating, MA 15 plus is the Australian rating. I saw a couple of kids get kicked out of the cinema.
Oh, did you? Because we've had some problems. A couple of mates down here saying that he can't believe the amount of kids that were in the cinema with him and just being annoying. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I was watching the employee of the cinema talking to a bunch of kids, and then the next thing you know, they're walking out. I'm like, sucked in. But deservingly, because it's not a kids movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, shit like this needs to be upheld, mate. Whether it be media in that form or whether it be games.
I don't care about the kids seeing bad things. I just don't want fucking little pain in the ass kids in my cinema doing shit that'll annoy me.
Yeah, me either. I think I'm just more eradicating the kids from any situation that I'm part of.
Yeah, that's right. They can wait and see the next session. Alright, I'll move on from that. I played Insurgency this week, so I played that with Weeksy, Reprimir, and Nikos. So that is a fucking hard game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, I have a potato with a keyboard attached to it, so that ruled me out. But I watched a lot of video on it, so I knew what you were talking about.
Well, you know, you say, in playing it, I reckon your PC probably would work with it, you know, after having played it, because it's a Source Engine game. Now, I've heard that in my research for the game, I've heard a few people saying that because it's a Source Engine game, it runs pretty good on most PCs. Now, the graphics aren't going to blow you away, but they're tidy graphics. The game is very reminiscent of CSGO.
Yes.
But also has a lot in common with Rainbow Six Siege. You think Rainbow Six Siege is hard?
Okay.
Play Insurgency.
No ammo counter.
That game is fucking hard. There's not really anything. There's no HUD really. It won't give
crosshairs?
you. No, there's no crosshairs. All you've got is your sight. So other than that, there's no crosshair. There's no hit marker, so you don't know if you're hitting them, other than a slight, depending on how far away you are, the red mist from hitting them, the blood. There's no kill feed. There's no way of knowing if you've killed anyone. So if you're shooting someone from a distance with iron sights or a red sight, you don't know if they've gone to ground by going prone and taking cover, or if they're dead. You don't know. So there's always that risk. Shit, do I get up now and progress, or do I wait for him to pop up again? I don't know if he's dead. It's very realistic in that frame, but the AI will flank the fuck out of you without any hesitation. So while you're still in your spawn area, if you take too long and you're shooting down range at them, next thing you'll know, you'll get a bullet in your head from right behind you.
Oh wow.
You need to pay attention. You need someone watching your back. You need to move. It is a very hard game. Now, there's no team deathmatch, so there's no such thing as let's just go in and shoot each other as many times and respawn as you can. Everything is objective based, so you're either going to be occupying a position like in Rainbow Six Siege, or you have to go and destroy the weapon caches for the enemy and kill all the enemies, kind of like a terrorist hunt. So that's kind of the game modes, and you can either do it cooperative against AI, or you can do it multiplayer against other players. And the shit's hard, man. When it comes to picking a weapon loadout, it's very much like Counter-Strike, where you know how you've just got a certain amount of loadout points.
Yeah, 10 point pick and shit like that. Yeah.
And everything's unlocked, but you just got to pick it how you want. You get a different amount, like different weapons depending on the class that you pick. So you'll pick a class, and then you'll pick all your primary, secondary, you know, your armor,
ammo belt.
Yep, yeah, the ammo belts are in there, and your throwable and things like that. So then you pick, and you can't save them. You pick them every time. Very much like Counter-Strike, and it's set up quite well. It does have controller support for the Xbox 360 controller, but it's dicky as all shit. Every time that I've gone to play it and use the controller, something hasn't worked, right? So the first time I did it, the aim and shoot worked, so I could aim down sight and shoot with the right trigger, but I couldn't move. The left and right stick weren't functioning. They didn't work. The buttons worked, so I could crouch and change weapon and reload and all that sort of shit. I exited the game and went back in, and everything worked perfectly. The only thing is, when you're in the menus, as in when you're picking your weapons and stuff like that, sucks balls. You got to use the right stick as a mouse sort of thing.
As a mouse, yeah. It's
bad.
Like an emulator.
Yeah. The second time I tried to use it, I went in, I could move around, aim, but my left and right trigger didn't work, so I couldn't aim and shoot. I turned off the controller. Instead of exiting the game, I turned it off and back on again, and everything worked. So it's a little buggy. It's not flawless like a lot of your AAA games, but you can get it to work. Once it works, it doesn't falter. It works fine. It's just, I don't know, it's just a connecting thing. It's a bit dicky there, but you can get around that. There's wave modes and things like that to play. It is a great game. It's probably not something that I would spend any real time on. I sort of had my fill of it. It's fun, but it's too hardcore for me.
Yeah, it's got a niche.
And its community is hardcore too. Like, I think maybe you'd find 1% of noobs on the game and then they'd run away. The rest of them are hardcore uni students that have nothing better to do and just play this over and over and over again and will kick your ass in an instant. I only played a couple of multiplayer games. The rest of it I just played the AI. And the AI is hard, but they're the easier alternative. Because they don't like to miss. And they will shoot rockets and shit at you. But I'm putting together a video review of that with the gameplay from when I was playing with the boys, so that'll be up, but it's taking a little bit of time. It's a bit tricky to put it together the way I'm doing it, so that'll be up soon, maybe up by the time this video airs, but maybe not. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's Insurgency for about $15 US on Steam. It's if you're a CSGO player and you're wanting something more, get into Insurgency, give it a go, you'll probably like it. That's all I'm going to say on that for now. A couple other things I've got to talk about. This past week I haven't been able to buy the games on the PlayStation that I wanted. I really wanted to buy Firewatch and Unravel. I can't buy them because this is the second time in my life, but I've been the victim of credit card fraud, where there was a $3, a $10, and $113 purchase made on my credit card, which I then had to cancel. I do have another credit card with the same bank, but when I cancelled, which has a different number, and it's a different type of card, but when I cancelled the card that was compromised, both of my cards got cancelled. I was told that second card would be deactivated for 24 hours because of the other one being cancelled. But it's been more than 24 hours and both of the cards are gone. They're both useless. So I can't purchase anything and it's killing me because there's shit that I want to buy. So, we're first world problems, I guess. But yeah, so I've been left in the lurch because of that shitty credit card fraud, which sucks. And I bought really gay things with my credit card too, so. But anyway.
Are you up shit creek for that coin?
No, I can dispute it. Whether I get it back is, who knows. I probably will. But it's something that you have to apply for. So I'm waiting for, they'll send a stat deck in the mail that I'll have to fill out to dispute it. Once that's disputed, then as long as the bank deem that I didn't contribute to my own loss, like, say for example, somebody
signed up for a porn site.
No, not necessarily that. But if somebody emails you with a fraudulent thing and you fall for it and you willingly give them the money or give them access to your credit card, like, so somebody emails you and says, oh, to save 1,000 doves that have got cancer, send us your credit card number with your CVV number and you know, will save lives and then you get rorted, well, they're not going to give you they're not going to give you your money back because you're a fucking idiot. But if you've got nothing to do with it, like say for example that your credit card was skimmed or just some other scam, I don't know how it works, you haven't actually done anything to give your details away because you're a moron, then they will reimburse your money. That's how it works. Now, I haven't done anything like that. I don't fall for silly things like that. I don't give my credit card out to anybody. So generally, I probably will get the money back. It's not going to kill me if I don't. I'm more annoyed by the
inability to use it.
Well, yeah, that's it. Because now I have to go and call all of my everything that I have that comes off that credit card. I now have to call
debits,
them. Yeah, all the automatic debits. I have to give them a ring and give them the new card. I have to. Well, things may go overdue because they're not getting paid. Like my iPhone, I pay like $1.50 a month for 50 gigabytes of storage, right? So I can back up all my shit. That was due the day after I cancelled my card, so I now don't have that anymore. I've lost my storage, which sucks because that's how I back up my things, and I can't have that because I can't pay for it, which is the biggest thing. But anyway, sometime this week I'll get a new card and be able to go back to normal first world spending like an idiot. Yeah, that sucks. Just a quick preview for next week. I will be playing at some stage this week a game called Layers of Fear.
Oh, that sounds intriguing.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not going to be streaming it because it'll look like shit with my non-NBN speeds, but I will be recording it. Fuck it, I'll record it in 1080 and 60 frames. I don't care if it takes me 6 months to upload the shit. I'm going to record this in high quality so you can actually see the feces seeping out of my pores.
Yeah, we want face cam. We want face cam.
Yeah, well, that'll be there. Don't you worry. So Layers of Fear is a PC game that's just come out of, I think it's come out of early access or just been released. So we've got a review code for that. I'm going because that's the only way I can get games at the moment because I don't have any money.
Psychedelic Fear.
So
cool.
I will be playing that, shitting myself, and hopefully enjoying it. So we'll hopefully I have a chance to talk about that on next week's show. But that's what's coming up. So I think without further ado, because we've gone on long enough, it's been an exciting week. Let's get into some video game news. Alright, first up in the news, Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Red, you're a Sonic fan, aren't you?
You use my Sonic blanket, man.
Yes, I did use your Sonic blanket when I was at your place. Well, that goes without saying. You are a Sonic fan. You probably agree that some of the Sonic games of late have been a bit poor, yeah?
Oh, anything into 2000s upwards, the noughties or whatever they call it, shit.
Yeah, so look, what do you think about a Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Oh, after the couple of adaptations to cartoon, skeptical.
Right. What did you think of the movie Pixels?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was pretty good, right? Well, that was Adam Sandler and Happy Madison, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me.
Well, one source has come out and claimed that the movie will be made by Happy Madison.
Oh, sign me the fuck up.
And
Netflix original, even better.
Oh, that'd be cool. And the characters and who's playing them have been announced as well. Look, I'm taking this from the source as gospel, but I don't know. It's very early to have announced all this shit, but I'll tell you what they are. If they're not correct, don't shoot me, and I'll correct myself at a later date. But it's a reputable source, right? So, Red, I'm going to leave the first one up to you. Who's playing Sonic?
Oh, Adam Sandler.
Of course he is. So Adam Sandler is playing the Blue Blur himself. And we've got Tails. Now, I have sometimes been I've been up in the air with whether Tails is a boy or a girl. But I think he's a boy. I think he's a male character. Yeah. And he's being played by David Spade.
I was going to say, Rob Schneider. David Spade.
Yeah, no, David Spade. Actually, little side off note, apparently, David Spade, I don't know when this was, but it was on a Today I Learned thing on Reddit. He was apparently attacked in his home by a stalker who tried to murder him, but he survived because he managed to fight him off.
Oh, wow.
So he could be dead today if he wasn't packing a little ninja, because he's tiny.
Yeah, so these actors are actually real people, you're trying to tell us.
Well, yes, and someone tried to kill the poor bastard. But anyway, he survived, that's great. And he's apparently going to be Tails. Dr. Robotnik, can you guess? He's in Pixels.
Yeah, what's that big dude's name?
Kevin James, yeah.
It's Kevin James. Yeah.
Yep, that's him, yeah. He's Dr. Robotnik, which I think will be a good role for him.
You can actually see these guys being these characters.
I'm assuming as well that they're playing the voices of the characters. I assume that it's going to be animated. I can't imagine them being dressed up like these characters. They look really stupid.
That'd be cooler.
Amy Rose, I don't really know that character too well, but Melissa McCarthy is playing that one. Knuckles, we all know Knuckles. Knuckles is like the red dude with the big fists and stuff. Kind of looks like Sonic.
He's awesome.
He's a hedgehog as well. I think he's a hedgehog.
Mm.
He's being played by Damon Wayans.
Oh, really?
Is that good? You like Damon Wayans?
Oh, he's alright.
I like him. I think he's great. The next one you're going to love, Red, and you're never going to guess. Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic? I want to say, what's his name? Oh, dude that plays Ultron, but...
Who's that?
Danny Crane. James Spader.
Oh, okay. No, it's not. But you'll get it if I say, this choice to play Metal Sonic is crazy!
Crazy! It's Chris Walken.
Yes! So let's see if he stabs anyone in the eye with a soldering iron. Big the Car? Is that what he's called? Or if I
lose me here.
Or is that a fucking typo?
Yeah. Big the Cat.
Big the Cat. It is a typo. Yep. There you go. Alright, so Big the Cat. Now, I don't know who this guy is. Do you know Suge Knight? Is that how you say it? Suge Knight? I don't know who he is. No, I don't know that character. He doesn't look familiar. He's a big black guy with a beard by the looks of it.
American record producer and a music executive. He's the founder and CEO of Black Capital Records and co-founder and former CEO of Death Row Records. Death Row was Tupac.
Oh, right, okay. Probably some sort of...
A rapper.
Or whatever. Apparently there's a character named Froggy. I don't know that character. But he's played by Rob Schneider. Obviously, he's in there.
You can do it!
Yeah, that's him. Shadow the Hedgehog is being played by Adam Lambert. Was he a like one of those singing pop stars shows?
Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah, something like that. He I think,
no way, not the same one.
Yeah, that's who Adam Lambert. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. And there's two characters named Scratch and Grounder, being played by Nick Swardson and Josh Gad. You'd recognise their faces, I think, but I don't know their names. Like, I wouldn't have known them from names. They're kind of like those side gag guys from comedy movies that everyone laughs at but doesn't really know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, they'd probably, given the rest of the cast, probably pop up in all bloody Adam Sandler's Happy Madison productions. Yeah,
they do. Yeah. But there you go. So there's the characters for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I hope that's right. I hope that comes to fruition. And if it's anything, like if it goes down the same path as Pixels, I'll be happy. Because that wasn't too bad.
Hopefully it comes out in September.
Oh yeah, we'll go see it. It'll be an annual thing. Come and watch a video game movie in Sydney with me, Red.
Okay.
Oh yeah, twisted your arm. Alright, let's move on to the next news item is Doom will be going the distance. How long should a first-person shooter single-player campaign last, Red?
8 hours.
8 hours. Well, if you're a Battlefield 4 fan, then 6 hours is going to be your answer. But if you're a normal human being like myself, you're going to probably need at least double that. for a decent campaign. And Doom's creators ID have made claims that the game is going to suck you dry of at least 13 hours of your time in a single player portion, for the single player portion of the game. Is that long enough?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. For a first person shooter, I like the 8-hour ones, but I've always said 8 to 12 is good. So a 13-hour campaign is sensible.
Doesn't fit the mold though.
Yeah.
Doom. It's going to be much more stressful than the majority of your first-person shooters.
Do you think?
I reckon. Yeah, I think eyeballs are going to bleed. It's just so frantic. It's a push-forward, pull-back system with Doom. It just doesn't stop. Where like your Call of Duties, your Battlefields, everything like that, you can take cover, you can get a bit of respite. But this is just all push, all move.
Now, I know you're a big fan of Doom, and you're looking forward to this game, am I right?
Big fan, yes. Looking forward to having a go, definitely, of the campaign. It's one of the first-person shooters that I'm more hyped about a campaign than I am about a multiplayer.
Now, I might be labelling myself as Bethesda's worst enemy here, because I did poo-poo Fallout 4, which I then corrected because I was wrong. But I can't help but feel similar original feelings without playing Doom. I kind of feel like it's gonna suck.
Yeah, but they're only publishing it.
Who?
Bethesda.
Well, yeah, but it's like, well, I guess isn't that the same thing with? Did they make? Are they a developer?
Yeah.
So who's making? ID.
id.
ID. Yeah, or id, whatever you want to call them. They're making it, of course. Well, I'm not saying what I'm saying, that it's going to suck because it's a Bethesda game.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I'm just saying what I'm saying based on what I've seen and sort of the feeling that I'm getting. Yeah, so I'm not saying because it's Bethesda I think it'll suck.
Yeah. It's going to be an epileptic's worst nightmare.
I just don't see. I don't think it's going to be any good. What I do see is like a similar thing to that other shit game, which was Bethesda 2. Sorry, Bethesda. I don't think you're shit. I just think some of your games have been. That other scary game.
The Evil Within.
The Evil Within. That was crap. But not. Look, the game itself might have been good, but it ran like balls, like it was shit. It just was...
Frame rate issues when it was cropped at fucking...
Yeah, it was like 500p or something.
Widescreen.
Yeah, and it ran terribly anyway, so... Anyway, I will apologise again and say that it's great if I change my mind, but yeah, it just doesn't look that great. But anyway, it's going to be a long
Put it this way, I haven't saved any money for it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Alright, move on to my last bit of news. Fallout 4 DLC tease. Bethesda, I love you! Fallout 4 has received a patch recently which added some new effects and upgrades to the visuals. Yes. The draw distance has been increased with new effects on weapon damage. That's all been added. This is all in the patch notes for your platform of choice. I don't know if you can see patch notes on the Xbox One, but you can probably see it on a website somewhere. But the interesting stuff came in the form of some tweets from Bethesda themselves this week. So let me read out what their tweets are and why I'm a little bit excited for it. We know you're ready to learn what's coming for Fallout 4 DLC. We're not far off and we think you'll be excited. That was one tweet. That was on the 11th of February. On the same day they tweeted as well. We're also doing a complete overhaul of Fallout 4 survival mode. Food, sleep, disease, danger, and more. Stay tuned. That was also on the same day. So that's exciting to see a nice little survival mode there. That'll make it a little bit more enjoyable and more things to do. Now, the only thing is with the DLC, Season Pass. I don't like the idea of buying Season Pass without at least being told what you're getting and when you're getting it. See, with a game has recently, it was I think The Division, they announced their Season Pass content.
Yes.
So they've not obviously given away everything, but they've said, right, you're going to get a new map underground. There's going to be this, and there's going to be this. You kind of have an idea on what you're paying for, but when they say here's give us $45 and we'll give you some DLC over a season, what the fuck am I getting? Because I did that with Dying Light, and now I'm happy to have gotten the following now. That's fantastic. But the first piece of DLC was shit. The second piece of DLC was shit. Bozak's Horde was great. And Fallout 4... Fallout 4. And then the following was great. I don't know what I'm getting with Fallout 4, so I'm not buying the Season Pass. I'll buy the DLC on its own, because then I can choose. If a shitty one comes out that doesn't look like it interests me, I don't need to buy it. I haven't already paid for it. Yeah, I don't know.
They're cool.
They'd have my money if they announced big things. Oh, there's going to be an extension to the map. You can go further down here. Oh, fuck, yep, here's my money. There you go. I'll pay for that.
Take my money.
But yeah, a lot of them don't do that. They say, Season Pass. We promise. I promise. Promise it's going to be good. Fuck off.
Well, if Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas or anything to go by, the DLC will have quality as well as quantity.
Yeah, I do have faith in them, but fuck that. Alright, Red, give us your news.
$45 worth of faith these days is a lot of fucking faith.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so Quantum Break. We've seen a little bit of this at the expo. Not a whole great deal, but it's got Iceman in it from X-Men.
Yes.
And it's a time manipulation shooter. So it was an Xbox One exclusive. Now, let me read you this.
Sure.
Purchasers of the Xbox One version of Quantum Break will receive an additional copy for Windows, as well as a DLC-infused copy of Alan Wake, playable via backwards compatibility.
Oh!
The two versions of the game will support cross-platform saves, but not cross-platform multiplayer.
Oh, the last bit's a bit of a downer, but that's fucking great! That is fantastic for us, because that means that I can play it on my console on my lounge, but if I want to record a little bit on my computer, I can...
where you're up to in the game, you can just go and... Woo!
That's great, man. Cross, like, what do they call it? Cross-buy.
Oh, cross-buy, yeah.
Cross-buy that PlayStation's been doing for ages. That's good, man.
Yeah, as well as the full copy, the full Alan Wake for Xbox One, or backwards compatibility.
Alan Wake's a sick game too. If no one's played it, you've got to get into that.
Rightio, quickly, just to cap it out, system requirements include Intel Core i5, 2.7 gigahertz or better, GeForce GTX 760 or the Radeon R7, 2 gig of video RAM, 8 gig of main memory, and 55 gigabytes of drive space.
Okay, no good for me.
Oh, really?
I've got the GTX 550. I don't have the, what'd you say,
760.
I'm gonna have to buy another video card.
Yeah. Or I'll just go steal Weeksies when he goes to America.
Yeah. They're so expensive.
They are fucking, it's a joke. More than a console.
I could buy 2 consoles for the one video card that'll work for that game.
But that's system requirement, whether that's minimum.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty high for a minimum.
Yeah, I don't reckon
that might be recommended.
But from the footage we've seen, it's pretty. It'd be pretty labour intensive.
Yeah.
You know, it's
okay. I'll just play it on the console.
Well, the thing is, we were only talking about this yesterday, was it? So, an Xbox exclusive game, or an exclusive to the Xbox One, you'd think it'd be optimised to run at 1080 and 60 frames. There shouldn't be too much more effort on a standpoint from being able to run it on a PC. It shouldn't be... I don't understand why it'd be any bigger. Like, obviously you've probably got the option to up the frame rates and everything like that, but if you took a standard copy of a game from a PS4 or an Xbox One in this case and took it across to a PC, would you need the duck's guts of gear on the inside of your computer?
Yeah, you shouldn't. Because, well, look, in
really.
spec-wise, my PC should be more powerful than my PS4.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
Maybe not the GPU. So maybe the graphics card is probably a bit dated, but essentially everything else, yeah, it shouldn't.
Because you're paying $500, say, when they first come out, yeah? $550 for a PS4.
Yeah.
Just for argument's sake. But of that allocation of funds, how much money is Sony taking for the operating system? You know, what they've developed for the XMB and everything. You'd have to suspect that the hardware would be worth retail probably about $400 of that $550.
Oh, I don't know if that's how they work.
Oh, if you were to cut it up into its segments, there's obviously an allocation to the developers as well as the guys that make the hardware.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if that... I don't know if the cost, like the cost of the retail price, I don't know if that's broken down into, you know, the OS and the hardware.
Yeah, but I'm just... Well, the point I'm trying to make is that there's not $550 worth of hardware they're trying to recoup.
No.
You got your advertising and your software. So why is it going to cost $2,000 to make a computer to run what a $500 machine can? Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a... Are we paying too much for PC components?
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's probably the difference.
Oh, fuck yeah. And you get the good components, and then you got to get the components to keep those components cool, and then you got to buy the power components to run the components to keep the components cool.
Mind you though, I'm buying one video card. Sony are buying millions, so they can sell the shit to us for cheaper. I guess that's the difference.
Alright, moving on. I'm the big fanboy this year of the developer that I've loved to rubbish for the last 2 years, so Ubisoft. I've got some news here on a few different things that are slated for a release this year, or in the coming 12 months, I will say, because it's all kind of grey area and there's no real solid release dates. But here we go. So we're going to get a sequel to Watch Dogs, so Watch Dogs 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. The open combat melee title For Honor, remember that? Well,
yep.
Got a big push ages ago, and now we've heard nothing of it yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's meant for this year.
Oh, cool.
The open world Ghost Recon Wildlands. Have you seen the trailer of that yet?
Yeah.
Oh. Doesn't that look cool? And then we've got South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
Yep.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
Yeah, no thanks.
So that's what's been confirmed so far with the name.
Where the fuck is Splinter Cell?
Yeah, I know. With a name. So as we know, Assassin's Creed's off the table for 2016.
Yep.
There's been a couple of news items here and there and headlines and everything. They're going to reassess where they're at with Assassin's Creed, which is all fair and good. I could take Assassin's Creed one every 3 years, one every 2 years, but I think with the Division, Siege, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, they're only just starting to tap into their Tom Clancy license, if you will, or trying to tap into what they were doing on the last gen consoles, because there's 5-6 Splinter Cells and at least 4 or 5 Ghost Recons and Rainbow Sixes. Well, there's bloody 15 of those. So I'd love to see Splinter Cell. They don't need to do Rainbow Six Siege, doesn't need to go down the path of Call of Duty one every 12 months. I don't think that's
don't do that.
Just keep adding content. We'll keep playing. Free maps. Right, you got to play so many games to get enough renown to unlock new operators. I'll do that too. But here's something here. I don't really understand it. So it's a little quote from CEO Yves Guillemot.
He's Guillermo.
There you go.
I don't know, I'm just guessing.
It just sounds better than Yves Guillemot that I've said. So the company also plans to release a new high potential AAA brand with strong digital live services. And it is said to be a new IP. So take what you will from that. But when I first read it, I thought, oh, kind of like EA Access. But, don't know, maybe well, they don't need to make an MMO. But strong digital live service, well, I don't know. That's something to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. Got me.
And the last little bit, Watch Dogs is set to move from Chicago to San Francisco.
Okay.
Good. Alright, Destiny into the future. So, this year, Bungie plans to release at least 2 more significant content updates for Destiny before releasing a full sequel in 2017. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's alright. So,
another 2 content updates, $45, plus the original $45 for the first 2, $90, $9 for the game, $180, and then what was Taken King? Was that 20 or 40?
Taken King? That was 69.
69, yeah, another full release basically.
Yeah.
$350 game.
Yeah, over a couple of years. The content's there, I guess. Well, it has been for the last one, but... yeah, there'll be a lot of new stuff, so I probably will go back.
Yeah. So the first update slated for Northern Hemisphere spring, so we're Southern Hemisphere, aren't we? So summer, autumn, winter, spring, summer, autumn, winter... Autumn! I have to think about it. And it will feature a significant light increase, a bunch of new gear to earn and equip, and new challenges for the PvE players, so it's basically another expansion.
Yeah.
And after that, a larger expansion is due in 2016. So that'll probably be closer to the end of the year, so winter, I'd say, Northern Hemisphere winter. And that'll be complete endgame content for Destiny with the full sequel coming out. I reckon it'll be between March and May of next year for a sequel to Destiny.
But I'll probably just buy the game again. Stuff paying for the extra stuff.
Yeah, well that's what got me. I went and got the Taken King again, as opposed to just getting the digital. Should have just gone digital. Because I've got another Destiny disc.
Yeah.
And a fucking code.
They'll be piling up.
Yeah. So, are you excited?
Nah. I'll probably be keen when it comes out or whatever and probably get it, but I'm not gagging for it.
Ah, cool. And that's about a wrap.
Alright. Cool, that's news. Let's go into What's That Sound?
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Alright, let's try and do What's That Sound this week. That's a little bit of fast forward because we're running out of time. Last week's sound, it's been a day since the show aired, so believe it or not, nobody has it yet. But previously to that as well, nobody got that one. So I said that we couldn't announce the winner last week's show because of the recording dates and things like that. But nobody won it. Nobody wants to win this God of War statue. I'm gonna give it out again. So this week, the God of War Kratos, because I think last week I put the what do you call it, the Captain America on the line. So God of War Kratos Pop Vinyl is back on the line. And let me just mention last week's sound. The answer was Day of the Tentacle. That's where that sound was from. You still there, Reg? You're really quiet.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Fantastic. This is the sound for last week.
Well, I'll be.
There you go. Like I said, nobody has got that yet, but it's been one day since we that went to air. So I don't expect anyone to grab that straight away. All right. So without further ado, Red, I've got a new one for you for this week. So have a go at this one.
Oh wow.
They haven't been easy of late, have they?
No, not very.
No, because you can all earn the prize. Get off your ass, work out what the sound is. Come on, everyone!
play it one more time for me, please, boss?
I will.
Nah. Nope.
Just checking if you've got access to my notes. Why? How did you get that?
Oh, really? Yeah, boy! Because it sounds like you're being beamed into a level, a sci-fi game, like you're being beamed into a level.
Are you being serious with me, or are you cheating?
No, I'm not cheating. No,
come on, you're always saying to be honest, to be perfectly honest, if I had to be honest.
In all honesty.
In all honesty, Red.
Did I cheat?
Did you cheat?
No.
Oh! I believe you. Well done. You're right in the game, obviously.
But just what number? Yeah, it's not early because it doesn't sound too 8-bitty.
No, but where you're describing the sound to be is way off.
Okay.
It is from that game though. Fuck, man.
Yes!
There's a new Rain Man in town. Well, if you can get it, not to say that you're a moron, but if you can get it, surely some of our listeners can get it. Well done. Well done.
Thanks, man.
You get a round of applause for that. Good stuff. Alright, well, if that's been beeped out, if I haven't forgotten. If you at home think you know what this sound is for this week, send us a message, a private message to our Facebook page telling us what you think the sound is. If you are correct, and you are the first person to be correct, also include your postal address. As long as it's within Australia, I'm going to send you this Pop Games God of War number 25 Kratos vinyl figure. For nothing. You don't even have to pay for postage. I'll do that. That's fine. I'll foot the bill, but you just got to listen to the show and get the right answer. So give that a crack, and you got a good price coming your way if you're first. The rest of you, if I can, I'll splurge out for some free Steam codes for you or something like that. But well done, Red. Everyone, give Red a round of applause again.
Yeah, I've done well for a dumbass.
That's good stuff. You're not a dumbass. Well done. Alright, let's mosey on down to the pub, Old Drive. Red, it's your shout.
No worries. So, Snoogans punched out a bloody post the other day and made me promise that I'd give everyone a mention. So,
that's right.
Thank God there wasn't 78 people because we're running overtime because I like to talk. So let's start. Here's all the comments. I'll read the comments out and I'll thank you all at the end. Martin Creamers, love the podcast. It just sounds like a group of personal friends sitting around talking crap. One of the only podcasts I make sure to keep up on.
Spot on.
We have Ross Mark. Yeah, we talk crap. We have Ross Mark. Podcast is great, informative, as well as a laugh at times. Well, I'm sorry I'm not funny all the fucking time. Andrew Roy, great pod. Great guys and a good laugh. Keep up the good work and all the best for the future. No cash, Chopper. Chopper, no cash.
No cash.
You got to be on the inside for that joke. George Schneider, funny fuckers, solid podcast. It is.
Enough said. Good work.
Rusty Big Muskie, never miss an episode. Been on board since episode 1. Heck, even before Aussie Gamers become Express.
Yeah, long time. Good on you, mate.
Hayden Campbell, Age is the only podcast I listen to. Would love to get involved if you guys are ever looking for another bloke. Well, I've got a wife and I've got 2 blokes on the side, so I'll keep you in mind.
Red's always looking for another bloke.
Oh, as long as you put the blow in bloke, I'm down. Gareth Croft, thanks for the shout out, Red, a few episodes back. I now have finished up listening to the back catalogue over the last few months at work, and I'm happy to be up to date. But now very sad that I have to wait each week for a new episode.
Wow, he's listened to all our shows up until the recent shows. Well, that's dedication. They're not short. They're most of them are an hour and 90 minutes long. That's dedication. Thanks, man. Thanks for listening to the show. Hopefully it's gotten better as you've progressed through. not like Lost, where it was good. Then it sort of had a shitty lull in the middle, and then got good again.
And last but absolutely not least at all, Ben Squadrito. Never miss a week. Hope maybe one day you boys could also do a midweek show. Long live Age.
Wow, I'm going to have to quit my job and
Yes, that demand turns into $10,000 a month. We'll start off with, and yeah, you get a midweek show.
Yeah, that's it. Well, look, no, I'm not promising anything, but there might actually be something similar to that in the works. But in the meantime,
yeah, I've got a couple of ideas. But...
there's a lot of stuff going up on YouTube. So if you want an Aussie Gamers Express fix, if you're not too adverse to hearing me more or seeing my head, you can go to the YouTube page and see the videos that I'm posting up there about. I'm doing a monthly thing now where every month I will make a video and talk about my most anticipated games for the following month. And also there's video reviews that are starting to sort of flow through, and there's generally a fair bit of content that goes through there. It's not an everyday thing, but it does pop up regularly.
And I must say, not that the quality to start off with was anything other than exceptional. Just your skills and your editing ability is becoming more second nature now that the videos it's starting to flow through in your videos. They're starting to be quite spiffy and professional. It's actually quite daunting to try and put something up on the bloody YouTube channel to stay in the same league. But yeah,
yeah, well, they're not like your high league professional videos, because as a lot of our listeners would know, we're just a couple of blokes that do a podcast from home and run a Facebook page and a blog website for reviews. So we're not funded. We don't have any money other than the money that we earn ourselves. We just do this because we love it, and we love video games, and we love talking to other people about video games. So through doing what we do, we've met heaps of gamer friends too, and forged some good friendships. So that's why we do it. I mean, we'd love to get paid to do what we do, but we're not there yet. It's a long, hard road, and hopefully we're taking a few steps towards getting that to that point. But at the moment, it's just it's purely for the love. 114 this is 114 episode. 114 episodes of roughly 90-minute shows. That's a lot of time and effort gone into it, and it's just, yeah, it's all because we love doing it. Cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
Now what?
I've got no ulterior motives of being here. Games and mates.
That's it. That's it. Any last words?
No, I was happy with the effort of the guys to get amongst that post. We might let Snoogans do one a month, and I'll call out all the comments until they actually become an hour and a half's worth of comments, and then it'll have to be its own separate show.
Yeah, that's it. That can be the midweek show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, George, Peter, Mary, Mike.
Jesus.
Jesus likes the show?
It's Hey Zeus.
Hey Zeus. I didn't say Hey Zeus. I said Hey Zeus.
Hey Zeus.
Die Hard with Avengers, right?
Absolutely excellent show again. Thank you very much for listening.
It was great fun. Slightly over time, but we're more than welcome to do that. That's fine. It's only 8 minutes, so that'll do. I don't really have any specific last words other than thanks everyone for listening, and I've been LewkOne.
And I've been Red.
This week's show has sadly come to an end. Be sure to search for Aussie Gamers Express on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, and just about every other social network known to man. If you have any snail mail you want to send us, shoot it over to P.O. Box 130, Cranebrook 2749. Catch you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.